What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Sunday, October 13th, 2024, and I have another emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 17:47 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and Asia. So apparently earlier today, there was an attempted assassination on the Israeli chief of staff, Herzi Halevi, by Hezbollah. So Hezbollah launched a massive drone attack on an IDF base south of Haifa. So far, we're hearing that over 100 Israeli soldiers were injured and or killed. This is the base for the Golani Brigade, and Herzi Halevi was there yesterday celebrating Yom Kippur, and today Hezbollah hit that base with a drone, and we're hearing from the Israeli army radio citing a military source that this is one of the bloodiest drone attacks since the beginning of the war. And apparently the drone that attacked this base was some kind of a new Russian drone. It was not a suicide drone, but one that was capable of carrying 3 small missiles. Wow. So Herzi Halevi, the Israeli chief of staff, celebrated Yom Kippur yesterday at the Golani Brigade base, and Hezbollah used a Russian drone to try to take him out today. Thank God he was not there, okay? But this is very, very serious that Hezbollah used this Russian drone. And remember, a few weeks ago, Israel struck that weapons depot in Syria that was within the boundary of the Russian base in Syria, the Khmeimim air base, okay? So Israel literally struck a Russian base in Syria. Now Hezbollah uses a Russian drone to try to take out the Israeli chief of staff. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's a tit for tat. I think that Russia secretly gave that drone to Hezbollah to sort of like get revenge on Israel for going after that base, but that's just my opinion. We have confirmation from the Pentagon that the THAAD air defense system will be deployed to Israel. This is the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System. It's currently deployed in South Korea to protect South Korea, Guam, the Philippines, Japan, etc., Australia, from any kind of ballistic missile attacks from North Korea and China. This is a special air defense system specifically made for intercepting medium range ballistic missiles that fly very high up in the air. They fly into space, and so you need a very specialized air defense system to be able to shoot down these longer range ballistic missiles because they fly very, very high. So you need a large enough missile with enough fuel to be able to reach the ballistic missile that they're trying to shoot down. And then on top of that, you need specialized radars that can see further and pick up the trajectory of these missiles and track them and be able to calculate an interception point. So this is one of America's top air defense systems, along with the Patriot system. The Patriot system is made for short-range missiles and drones and fighter jets, and the THAAD system is for long-range threats, okay? So the U.S. deploying a THAAD system to Israel is a clear sign that they are preparing for an escalation with Iran, a retaliation by Iran on Israel with the same ballistic missiles they used last time against Israel. And this is obviously in retaliation for the Israeli strike that is basically imminent now. So this THAAD battery is going to be operated by American troops, okay? So this is a big, big escalation here. And we're also hearing from multiple sources that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is now in his bunker in the Israeli Pentagon in Tel Aviv, having final consultations with the Israeli Security Cabinet on the strike on Iran. So it's possible that this could happen tonight or tomorrow. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life with over 2,000 calories per day, all packed inside of 6 rugged water-resistant buckets. Free shipping is included. The normal price is $800. If you use the link, you'll only pay $600 for 3 months of food with free shipping. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video. Because remember, the Israeli Home Front Command has posted updated guidance for northern Israel through tomorrow. So it's possible that they're going to strike Iran tonight or tomorrow, and that's why they updated the Home Front Command guidance in case Iran or Hezbollah retaliates. They want everybody to be ready for that, but Netanyahu is not in his bunker under the Israeli Pentagon for no reason, guys, okay? He's obviously there to command something, okay? And the French President Emmanuel Macron just finished a phone call with the Iranian president ahead of the anticipated Israeli strike. And Putin held an emergency meeting with the Iranian president on Friday. Okay, so this is very, very serious, guys. And it does appear that Israel is going to go big. They're going to go for the nuclear sites. Possibly the leader of Iran, the Ayatollah Khamenei, I think they're going to go for him potentially later on, depending on what kind of intelligence they have. If they have good intelligence, then they can try to take out Khamenei and then also the nuclear sites. But I think Israel's main focus right now is to take out those nuclear sites. That's the number one priority, especially after last Saturday, that strange 4.5 magnitude earthquake that had 0 aftershocks and no compression wave. Very, very suspicious. It's possible that Iran did a demonstration test of one of their prototype nuclear warheads to kind of scare Israel and threaten them and kind of scare them away from any kind of big strike on the Iranian facilities, but that's going to have the opposite effect on Israel. Rather than scaring them from striking Iran, it's going to make them want to strike Iran now, because now Iran tested a warhead, and so now Israel knows that they're literally very, very close to Iran having nuclear weapons and becoming a nuclear state, which would be catastrophic for world security. Okay, imagine all those ballistic missiles that were launched towards Israel. Imagine if they had warheads on them, nuclear warheads, okay? That would be catastrophic, because then Israel would nuke Iran back and we would have a nuclear war in the Middle East, okay? So this cannot happen. Israel has to take out the nuclear sites, and I think that's what we're going to see. That's why there's this delay, and Israel has not striked Iran yet, because they're going big. And when you go big like that, you need to make sure you have everything in position. The U.S. has to have all their assets in position, the THAAD system, all the fighter jets, the F-15s, the F-16s, the F-22s. They just arrived over the weekend, so those are in position now. Everything has to be ready when you do something like this, okay? It's not a joke. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer, but I do think Israel's going to go big, because this might be their last chance, because Israel has the momentum. They've taken down Hamas. They've taken down Hezbollah for the most part, and they also have justification, because Iran launched 200 missiles at them. So they have justification now under international law to take out the nuclear facilities. If, let's say, in a few months from now, things quiet down, Iran doesn't strike Israel again, and Israel just randomly goes after their nuclear sites, then, you know, the whole world is going to really turn against Israel. So now they have an opportunity. Hopefully, Netanyahu stands his ground and does not cave into the pressure from the West not to go for the nuclear sites, this is potentially their last chance to take out the nuclear sites, guys. And if they don't take them out now, I'm afraid we're going to have a nuclear-armed Iran, which is going to be catastrophic for the world, okay? And the Iranian foreign minister said, "We are not afraid of war and are ready for all options." And the IRGC Air Force commander said, "We are prepared to deliver a severe and regrettable response to the enemy in case it makes any mistake. Iran's recent missile attack was merely a minimal punishment for the Israeli regime." And multiple sources were reporting today that after the phone call with Biden and Netanyahu last week, that Netanyahu agreed to stop strikes on Beirut in Lebanon. However, an Israeli official came out later today and said that that was actually fake news and that Israel will strike anywhere in Lebanon as needed, and there's no pressure from Biden or no agreement not to strike Beirut, that's fake news, okay? The Iraqi foreign minister said today that we will not use our land and airspace to target neighboring countries. If we fail to prevent the escalation of the war, the region will descend into great chaos, okay? So Iraq is saying we don't want to be involved. Don't use our airspace. Don't fly over Iraq to strike Iran, okay? So very concerning, guys. Remember, we helped out Iraq, okay? After we took out Saddam Hussein, we rebuilt their government, we rebuilt their country, and now they stabbed us in the back. All the sacrifices that we made, all the American troops, basically for nothing now, okay? It's going back to the way it was. And Hamas tried to persuade Iran and Hezbollah to join the October 7 attack on Israel. This is being reported by multiple sources. And Syrian sources reported that U.S. fighter jets were spotted flying low over northeastern Syria. And the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, said that the UN is refusing to evacuate from their positions in southern Lebanon. And he said, quote, "I am addressing the UN Secretary General directly. The UN soldiers is turning them into Hezbollah's hostages." I want to remind you guys that Israel has already banned the UN Secretary General from visiting Israel because of his anti-Semitic tendencies and support for Palestine and Hamas and Iran. And UN peacekeepers claimed that 2 Israeli tanks entered one of their positions by force in southern Lebanon. So you see what's going on here? Okay, the UN is being sneaky. They're trying to prevent Israel from going into southern Lebanon, and they're keeping their soldiers there because they think that Israel is not going to attack southern Lebanon as long as the UN soldiers are there. Okay, so they're being sneaky, and Netanyahu's being annoyed, and so Israel's basically like firing warning shots now at the UN peacekeepers to get the hell out of there. Okay, so this could really, really escalate, guys. And the Israeli army radio stated that the Israeli army has begun expanding its ground operations in southern Lebanon. And there was a large Hezbollah rocket attack on northern Israel today. And I want to remind you guys of the Home Front Command guidance updated through tomorrow. This is just another sign that we're in the end times, guys. Okay, all these countries turning on Israel, the UN turning on Israel, getting in their way, telling them not to go into southern Lebanon, putting their troops in the way. Okay, the Biden administration talking Israel out of striking the nuclear facilities. It makes absolutely zero sense to not go after the nuclear sites. Okay, you have to denuclearize Iran. That is the most important thing in our lifetime that we have to do. Okay, and Biden is talking them out of it. It's like, who is he working for? Is he working for the devil? He wants Iran to be able to nuke Israel. I mean, that is just insane. And in Damascus, Syria, supporters of al-Assad, the leader of Syria, and the rest of the Axis resistance demanded that Israel be bombed. Okay, so you have Syrian people demanding that Syria bomb Israel. Okay, I want to remind you, in the Bible it says that Damascus will be destroyed and it's very likely that Israel may be the one to destroy Damascus. We have some very concerning information coming out of North Korea. North Korea has placed artillery units at the DMZ at full readiness, full combat readiness. 8 artillery brigades have received the order, and this comes after North Korea accused South Korea of sending propaganda leaflets to Pyongyang, the North Korean capital. South Korea responded to North Korean threats today, saying, "We clearly warn that if North Korea harms the security of our people, that day will be the end of the North Korean regime." That's what South Korea's defense ministry stated. And this also comes a few days after it was announced by South Korea that the North was destroying all road and rail connections to the South. Okay, so North Korea is now breaking down all of the road and rail connections to the South. Now they're putting also their artillery brigades on high alert. So it sounds like the North is getting ready to attack the South. Also, the South Korean president said, I think it was about a week ago, that if the North ever tried to use nuclear weapons against the South, that the U.S. would respond immediately with South Korea with a devastating nuclear response. And remember, in early 2023, Biden approved a nuclear sharing program with South Korea. So South Korea now has some kind of a nuclear sharing agreement where basically they would deliver a joint strike with nuclear weapons on North Korea, okay? And Taiwan spotted Chinese battleships south of the island earlier today after a Chinese military propaganda video surfaced showing the Chinese military preparing for war. Taiwan's defense ministry said a Chinese naval group led by the aircraft carrier Liaoning had entered waters near the Bashi Channel, which connects the South China Sea to the Pacific Ocean and separates Taiwan from the Philippines. Very concerning. And U.S. President Joe Biden will visit Germany on October 18th after an earlier trip was postponed due to Hurricane Milton. Biden was supposed to convene a leader-level meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group in Germany on October 12th, so that was yesterday, where Zelensky was expected to present his victory plan. However, he put off his visit in order to oversee the emergency response to Milton. I don't believe that. I think it's related to Iran. I think that he put off the meeting because of the situation in Iran. But I think that this meeting on the 18th is going to be about the deep strikes, okay? The Ukrainian deep strikes, agreeing on where they're going to strike and contingency plans for it. And remember, Sergei Lavrov said a week ago that if Ukraine does these deep strikes with Western weapons, then they're going to enact some kind of a contingency plan. Okay, what that is, we don't know, but we know that Russia changed their nuclear war doctrine, so they could try to nuke Ukraine. We know that Belarus has put their military on full combat alert like since 2 or 3 weeks ago. And Poland just shut down another border crossing with Belarus and put up more anti-tank obstacles. Lithuania is now breaking down bridges that connect Russia to Lithuania, okay? And they're putting up anti-tank obstacles, so something is brewing. We're seeing all the high-priority reconnaissance planes circling northern Poland and the Baltics and Kaliningrad every single night almost. So that's another hot zone we have to watch out for. And Zelensky said that despite Russian counterattacks, Ukraine is still holding their frontline positions in the Kursk Oblast. And Starlink helped Russia to advance and capture Vuhledar in eastern Ukraine. So we actually have some pictures here. Okay, you can see this Russian soldier holding a Starlink box. So not a good look for Elon Musk there. Also, police thwarted a potential third assassination attempt against Trump outside of the Coachella rally in California. This guy's name was Vem Miller, and he was arrested with an illegally possessed shotgun, a loaded handgun, a high-capacity magazine, and fake VIP passes, and reportedly expressed intent to kill Trump. And here we have the official booking information for this guy. 6'1", 205 pounds. Says here he was arrested for carrying a loaded firearm and large capacity magazine. So very, very concerning. Want to just update you guys on some of the flights we're seeing here and overseas. We had this very interesting flight by a nuclear war command and control plane late last night. It took off from Oklahoma City, which is where Tinker Air Force Base is located. That's the home base of these nuclear war command and control planes, and it went all the way out to near the Hudson Canyon off the coast of Long Island and New Jersey. It's actually a very famous fishing spot. So people go tuna fishing here. There's a massive underwater canyon here from back before the Ice Age, and it's really, really deep, and there's a ton of tuna there. But what's interesting is that it was doing these loops here. You can see if you look closely, these loops, and that means it was communicating with a submerged nuclear-armed submarine somewhere in this area. Okay, it flies in these circles because it has this long antenna. It's like a giant wire, and it has to fly in a circle for the antenna to basically become vertical. And then it can start transmitting messages through VLF, very low frequency, which can penetrate through the ocean water. So very concerning. It means that our nuclear forces are on very, very high alert. We also have more high priority reconnaissance over Poland right now. So here we have a U.S. Air Force RQ-4 Global Hawk patrolling northern Poland and eastern Poland. Took off from Sicily and flew all the way up to Poland. This is very unusual for one of these to be flying up in Poland. So very concerning. It's possible that Russia and Belarus could attack Poland and the Baltics very soon. We also had a very strange Russian Air Force flight go to Kaliningrad from mainland Russia. So could be troops, could be weapons, could be equipment. We don't know, but this is very, very concerning. And the Wall Street Journal is reporting that there have been sightings of unknown drones in the area of secret military bases in the U.S. Drones were spotted near the CIA headquarters, Navy SEAL Team 6 base, as well as a nuclear testing site in Nevada. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I do have my 24/7 stream live right now. You can go in there and hang out. And when Israel strikes Iran, or when something happens in Ukraine, like the deep strikes or any kind of Russian attack on Ukraine with nukes or attack on NATO, I will go live. I always go live anytime something big happens. So make sure you follow me on Telegram and Twitter, because sometimes YouTube doesn't send out notifications, and I always post all my updates on Telegram and Twitter. So if you follow me over there, you'll never miss an update, and the links to my Telegram and Twitter are in the description below this video. But that's it for now, guys. I might be back later on with another update. If not, I'll see you in the 24/7 stream, and I'll catch you on the flip side. So until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.